think we all want our Jeeps to look good, right? And for me, trying to make it look good is one, trying to be able to do some trail stuff while also trying to keep it nice. And so when you drive by, people are like, man, that's a nice Jeep, right? So today, I'm going to continue that by trying to keep my nice Jeep going. And to do that, I need to do some touch-up painting. I've got some areas that have started to rust, have been scratched, or whatever reasons. They're just showing some wear. So I'm going to do some touch-up. And so to do that, one, I got to do some prep work. That's probably the most important. Once I get all that prep work done, all the sanding done, then I can go ahead and paint. And on my JK and my wife's JK, I've used the Raptor bed liner. About 5 years ago, I did a Chevy Colorado, the whole thing, sanded everything down, and did it in the Raptor liner. Turned out to be great. It was a great product, and so I'm going to continue to use it just because it works well. I've used it back here on the around the window. I had some scratches and scrapes when I got it, some wear. So one of the first things I did was I went ahead and sanded all that down and did some Raptor on that. And so I did the fender liners here. What I did on the fender liners, this is the stock fender. All I did was do a cut down here. I put this little trim on. It's like a trim piece here. I lined it in that, and then I put a primer product on so I could Raptor the fender. So that right there is all of the Raptor bed liner product. Pretty nice product. I've used it a good bit, and so I recommend it. It's very easy to use. You could use it. I've used it rolling on. You can put it in shake it up. It's a 2-part epoxy mix. You can use it as a roll-on, or you can go ahead and put it in a compressor, screw the bottle on, and spray it. The spray one is pretty easy. You got to watch overspray though. When I was doing that, this up here, when I came down on it, I didn't have my hood fully covered, and I got a little splatter on the hood. And once it's on, it does not come off. I had a blow up in the driveway with it one time, and I got spots still everywhere. So it's just be careful when you're using it. Make sure you prep though. Prep's going to be key. So that's where I'm going to start today. I'm going to start with some prep work. Get some things sanded down, and we'll show you how that goes along the way. When I got my Jeep, it was all black. It didn't really have too much to it. Had a small lift on it, and really just was pretty plain. I've done a lot of work to it since. It's a JK 2009. So some of the things that I started doing is I wanted to kind of accent it in red, and so I started off with this right here. That cowl piece right here, I did that in that red. Well, I found that trying to match up that red was going to be pretty difficult, and then you got to keep painting everything. So I ended up with some varieties of red on the Jeep. So I'm gonna correct that. So I'm gonna be sanding down and repainting the red off the hood. I put these hood mounts on, and if you look, they're starting to show some wears, a lot of fading in it. So I'm going to be painting that as part of this project. I put this front bumper on. It's an EAG bumper. It's held up pretty good, but I think when I was changing out some brake fluid, I got a drop of brake fluid there, and it is just growing. So I definitely want to sand that down and prep out the bumper. You could take the bumper off. I'm not going to take this bumper off. I'm going to tape it off, mask it, and then I'm going to go ahead and spray it with the Raptor. And then I went ahead and I got some new rock sliders. The factory ones that were on it that kind of look like this. This is the wife's Jeep, and again, I just did this Raptoring last week on hers. Turned out pretty well. But that was the bumper I had. I was wheeling, got between a rock and a hard place, and I crushed it. So I switched it out. I was at a swap with a group of Jeepers. I picked these up for 20 bucks. I put them on, really like them. Wife didn't really like how to get in and out of the Jeep. She was having some trouble, so I welded on this stirrup type thing for her to get in. She really doesn't like that either, so I'm gonna pull that off. I'm gonna sand, take the chain off. I'm gonna sand all that down, and then I'm gonna prep and paint that on both sides as well. And then one of the other things I'm gonna do is I got this Hooky Road bumper, and I've got some spots that are showing some rust, some rock damage there. I just want to clean up, and then I'm going to do some repaint on this as well. I've done the inside of the tailgate door, as you can see with the Raptor here. I think I'm just going to probably continue to just do the whole rear door in the Raptor, just because it gets a lot of wear, a lot of scratching and stuff, and that Raptor seems to hold up pretty well. And then again, over in here on this step, I'm going to take that off and do the Raptor. Now, my plan is to go ahead and take it off, sand it down, prep it, and then go ahead and paint it with the black Raptor. And then I'm going to come back with a red spray. I think it's like Firehouse Red. And then everything that I want red, I'm going to go ahead and paint in the red, and then go ahead and put it back on, instead of doing the red mix with the Raptor and then doing that. I'm not sure I want to go that direction and switch out sprays and everything. I've got black spray here, so I'm going to go ahead and just do that change out with just spraying it black and then coming back and Raptoring it with the red. So all my red then will match. That's really what my goal is. I want all my reds to match. I'm trying to just clean it up a little bit. We're going to start breaking out the sanders, start breaking out some wrenches, some air tools. Let's get these running rock sliders off, and then start sanding down these bumpers. We've got everything sanded down. You just saw that process. I've gone ahead and put some paper and tape around some things. Again, I'm not pulling my bumpers off. I did pull the rock sliders off just because it would be a little easier. They were a little too close to the Jeep to do it. But you'll kind of see that process as I show you really how I mask stuff off, how I've got some stuff prepped out. I'm really watching this weather back here. I'm going to take my chances, I think, and try to get it. Radar doesn't say that the rain's coming, so I'm going to try to get this painted out today. So I'll just kind of go around and show you where what I've taped off, what I've done to this point, and we'll take some video of painting. So here on the bumper, I went ahead and sanded it down. Anywhere I had bare metal, I went ahead and put a little etching primer on there. And then as soon as I got everything sanded down, I went ahead and wiped everything down with acetone, just so I could be ready to paint. Same with this in here. Again, I took the cowl off, the two pieces on the hinges on the hood, and the sliders. Anywhere where I had bare wood, I went ahead and use that etching primer, which is really good. The acetone is a good recommendation as well. Make sure everything's cleaned up, ready for paint. Moving quickly to the back. This is where I'm going to start spraying, and then I'll move the tarps and stuff around to the front. But I really want to make sure I could get this back done here. Like I said, I'm not pulling it. I did leave, you'll see a little spot like right in here. I masked that off, that's underneath the license plate. It just didn't look real good, so I'm going to clean that up. Same with this here. I hit a rock one time and pushed the bumper up and took a scrape of paint, so I'm going to touch that up as well for the bumper. And again, anywhere there was bare metal, I went ahead and gave it a light touch of primer. So, all right, so that's where I'm at in this process. I'm going to go ahead and set some things up. I've got my Raptor here. and my hardener. So basically what I'm going to do is, there's a line on this cup here. You go ahead and fill to the line. You pour it into the black bottle. Okay, you pour it in the black bottle. You give that black bottle a few shakes. Shake it up pretty good. Then that black bottle there goes on the end of the compressor, which I've got set up. PSI right now sits about 100, but as soon as I take that first spray, my compressor's a little smaller, so it will drop. I learned the hard way. I told you before, I learned the hard way. Make sure I check the air in the gun first, because this is what happens when it blows up on you. It just blew up all over my sidewalk in my driveway. But I'm all ready now, so we're good to go, and we're gonna start painting. can see the painting process. Once I start, I really don't like to stop too much, just because if that paint starts to harden in that air gun, it just doesn't go on as nice as I would like. Plus, as soon as I'm done painting, I like to get all the tape off. So here's what it looks like finished. Again, that's the bed Raptor, or the Raptor bed liner on there. I mask it off. Overall, everything went pretty good. Doesn't look too bad. Let that dry up. When it dries up, it kind of creates like a bond. It almost like suctions to the product. Very similar to that. You can see how it kind of like suctions down. It stands up a little bit now, and then as it dries, it will start to lay down. And then on the back side here, you can see kind of where I trimmed out the lower side to clean up that area that was scratched. Just create a little trim, you know, where the rocks might fly up and dang it, you know, that idea. Kind of keeps it clean. Again, nice clean, looks good down through there. Just gives it a much different look. And again, I really look to try to get the tape off right away before the tape dries, because it just makes it so much easier. If there was a problem, then I can try to address it then. But overall, it's really what I laid out to do, and I was able to do all this with one bottle. All right, one last look at the final product right here. You see where we did the cowl and the hinges. Now that's all one color. We also did the latches on the hood. We got those the same color as the cowl. We went ahead and did the Raptor down here on the bumper. A little bit of water running from when I rinsed it off, but overall turned out really nice. Really like the way it looks. All my reds now match. One thing you want to think about is, you see my wire tie there on the D-ring. Always a good idea to put a little wire tie on your D-ring. This way, if you're rolling down the road, those things happen to loose up, they don't bounce off and hit another car or cause damage to a car or your car. So I always, for safety, put a little wire tie on my D-ring, just as a little bit of safety there. There again, the latch down. And then we did the red on the rock sliders. That turned out really good. And again, I first put the Raptor product on it, then I came back with the red paint and did the red on it. I got my gas cover to match now, which was fading out a little bit. And then right here, we've got the bumper. Overall, the bumper turned out really well. Like the way it turned out. The only thing I didn't do was that back tailgate. There was a sticker on there I didn't want to remove just yet. It still was in, it hadn't expired. So from that standpoint, I just wanted to keep it there. I'll take care of that at another time. But there's the other rock slider. I hope you enjoyed this video. That's how I use Raptor to keep my Jeep looking nice. Do some touch-up paint here and there, particularly after wheeling. You get some dings and scratches. So I kind of want to keep it looking nice as part of my daily driver. If you liked it, please like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. We appreciate that. Robert's got some other stuff coming up here shortly, so stay tuned for that. And I'm Lance with PB&J Off-Road. Enjoy. You never know where that sandwich is going to come from, do you?